Well, Andrew, I appreciate that update. As always, thanks. We'll talk to you soon. Let's look at some situations now in New South Wales and Victoria. ACT as well, prepared to go it alone on tighter restrictions. The states and the territory flagging they'll do more if cases continue to climb. The WA Premier, though, warns millions of Australians could lose their job if the nation rushes to a stage 3 lockdown.
Sydney streets empty and Melbourne's usually bustling train stations transformed into a ghost town as Victoria and New South Wales prepare for even tighter restrictions.
The New South Wales government will go further if we have to.
Unless it's absolutely essential to be leaving your home, you must stay at home at every opportunity.
The Stage 3 changes are under consideration by the National Cabinet, but some states may go it alone if the number of confirmed cases continues to climb.
No need to panic. Supermarkets and essential things will always be available for people to obtain.
In Queensland, the Premier is not anticipating a lockdown for now.
At the moment, we are not in the same situation as New South Wales and Victoria. And you may see communities or areas that will have more lockdown provisions in their regions. We are not at that stage yet.
Tasmania wants all tourists still in the Apple Isle to go home, as the Premier flags he's willing to impose a full lockdown.
I will go to that if the advice is that we should. A hard lockdown could be 6 months.
Over in the West, Premier Mark McGowan warns the economic consequences could be dire.
We go to stage 3, we then lose potentially hundreds of thousands more jobs across the country, maybe millions. You need to make these decisions with the best of advice and don't make it lightly.
If there is a decision to close down certain sectors in the economy, it is going to be because the medical advice clearly and unequivocally indicates that that is required to protect people's health.
As states consider adding to the list of restrictions, they've also loosened rules for others, with a 30-minute time limit on hairdressers lifted. Instead, they are told to take proper hygiene precautions and comply with the 4 square metre rule for customers.
The place where I get my hair cut said that they'd rather be shut than to have a 30-minute limit. The government clearly has listened to that, but it would be better if we got the messages out there much more clearly.
Additional discretion has also been allowed for funerals, with states given flexibility to provide limited exemptions to the 10-person rule. The Prime Minister will chair another National Cabinet meeting from here at Parliament House on Friday, with the country bracing for life to change once again. Trudy McIntosh, Sky News, Canberra.
The National Cabinet's trying to come up with a solution to the rental stress of tens of thousands finding themselves in hardship right now. One plan being considered is giving property owners federal government tax relief in return for waiving or reducing rent. Labor is calling for the National Cabinet to go a step further and implement a national eviction ban, which effectively allows tenants to squat during the pandemic.
A little bit of confidence and security to people that are sitting at home at the moment being told to stay at home, that they're not going to get a knock on the door and told to get out. That's the last thing we need at a time like this where people are being told to bunker down. When people know, everyone watching today know that our home's not just our castle anymore, it's our fortress. And a bit of common sense and a bit of fast action from government will help to provide that security for all Australians to know they're not going to get that knock on the door anytime soon.
The Finance Minister Mathias Cormann says he expects an announcement on tenant protection to be made soon.
Tenancies are a matter that in Australia are regulated at the state level, but this is a matter that through the National Cabinet, the Prime Minister and Premiers and Chief Ministers have turned their mind to. And I would expect that there will be announcements in relation to this in the not too distant future.